tuning to the encounter culture.
Anyway, stop being me, break counterculture to your face. Gonna pretend that you want it to end. I'd rather be a drinking with my friends. When we go out, you'll never see us again.
Previously on the recap.
Yeah. No, I got bullied into buying it by Encountered Culture and those other guys over at Just
I've only
Justin
seen it
Collects.
on
I don't even own one.
displaying model behavior, like when you did a review.
I don't even own one.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't know that. I don't know what Alexi's talking about, which, by the way, conveniently, Alexi won't be here today. He had to run off to Vegas, something bookie. I don't know. He was speaking very fast. So either way, Alexi won't be here this week to, back up his bullying claims about me making him purchase a ramen racer, which, by the way, I don't even own. So take that, Alexi. Take that. Anyway, folks, welcome back. It is Friday. Today is Thursday. That's how that works, right? Last week was Friday. This week, Thursday. Next week, probably Friday. But we'll see. That's your inconsistent show about the consistent flow of toy news and information. But I'm back. We're here. It's not just me tonight. I'll bring up the guests in a few moments, but we'll get some housekeeping out of the way. Of course, you see the ticker at the bottom there. If you want to be on the show either in the future or, hey, if you're feeling up to it tonight, why not? Send me a DM. We'll get you on the show. Nice and easy like that. Of course, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. And if you're feeling up to it, feel free to join that members club while you're at it. Speaking of those members, I do just want to give a shout out to the channel members. So we do have Compulsive Collector, St. James, Sith AF, Dan Who Reviews. You may have heard of him. A little channel, just hit 30,000 subscribers. Bring Toys to Work, John Morrissey, Northern Nomad, Christopher Allen, and Just Justin Collects. Speaking of Justin, if you've been here before, you know the drill. Every week, Saturday night, 8:45-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on Just Justin Collects channel. It's Collecting Justified. We pick a topic each week. We sit down and talk for a couple of hours, have a nice long conversation, depending on what it is for the week. Always a good time. Again, that's Saturday nights over on Justin's channel. That's at Just Justin Collects. And the show is Collecting Justified. Again, folks, I do appreciate everybody for dropping in. But as I said, it's not just me tonight. So let me bring on my co-host for the evening. You know him. You've seen him here a few times before. It's St. James, the patron saint of collecting, who has a copy of T2. If you watched last week, you may have learned that James had never seen Terminator 2. James, any updates on that?
Yes, I watched it last night, and actually I finished the last 20 minutes of it this morning because I was falling asleep. It was good. It was really good. And I watched the first one too, a couple of days before, right after the stream. And I'd seen the first one before, but the second one's much better.
Yes.
And you're right that I didn't need to actually watch the first one again.
It's true. Yeah.
It wasn't super necessary. But yeah, it was pretty awesome. If it's a scale 1 to 10, I'd give it an 8.
Solid 8. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, good. Glad that it holds, because that's the kind of thing where everybody else is hyping it up, based on the nostalgia they have for the movie, and then you go and watch and you're like, oh, this is kind of shit.
So I kind of did some research because it came out in 91, so I was 11 years old, and it was something that wasn't in my parents' wheelhouse, I don't think.
Mm.
And so it's just one of those things where you just didn't go to the theater to see an R-rated movie.
Yeah.
Or whatever is PG-13 maybe. Oh, R. Yeah, R. When you're 11 that easily.
That's fair. That's when you buy the ticket for some romantic comedy that came out in 91 and sneak into Terminator 2.
And then I never had cable until I was an adult, till I was 18. So I never had HBO or none of that stuff. So I never got to see it and it's just one of the ones I guess I skipped it at the video store and somehow just got lost where I'd never seen it.
It happens. But you've seen it now, so that's good.
Yep.
James, it's not just us. We are joined tonight by Compulsive Collector, aka John. John, evening.
Hello. How's it going?
It's going. Welcome to the fold here. So yeah,
I'm glad to have it on the record that Terminator 2 put James to sleep. That's about what I had said about the movie in the chat last week.
I guess now you need to follow it up with Terminator 3, right?
Rise of the Machines, Claire Danes, Nick Stahl. That's the best Terminator movie. But the best Terminator is the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Okay.
That was a TV show, right?
Yeah. And I when you were talking about it, I was like, shit, is that still on Hulu? And I looked it up. I was gonna recommend it to you, but it's not. But if it pops back up on Hulu, I'll let you know. It's a real good show.
See, I like the idea of having more. That's why, like the first movie, there was like a little bit of stuff in it, and the second one, there's a little bit of stuff, but there's just not enough of the lore why all this is happening. That's what,
right.
And I'm interested in that part of it, the sci-fi lore of it. And so I think I would like something that was a little more long form and dug into more of, why it happened. And I tried not to analyze the time travel thing too much. 'Cause I was like, well, if they stop the guy from making it, then what happens time wise? I don't know. It gets tricky with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Those are both good. Genesis is actually better than it looks like it'll be. Like if you watch the preview. It's fun, at least. It has the fun that what was it, Salvation that Christian Bale was in?
Salvation.
It just wasn't fun at all. Whereas Genesis at least brings you back to having a fun movie.
Wasn't that the one where Christian Bale was yelling at everybody and being crazy on the set?
Yeah.
And they done professionally. Get this guy out of here, McG.
Good old Terminator stuff. But yeah, I guess you got plenty of options if you want to really dive into the world of Terminator. All right, so let's see who's in the chat tonight. So John Morrissey was here early. Unfortunately, he had some hopes for Alexi. As I said, Alexi is not here this evening, but he was hoping, and he heard on good authority from Dan Hu's show earlier, that Alexi will be wearing a boob window shirt on tonight's show. Maybe that's why Alexi didn't show up, Fear of wearing a boob window show. James is in the chat. Boob window. That's right. And then, Adrian says that his first movie theater movie was The Shining at 3 years old. Okay, well, it's a good start, I guess.
It sounds traumatic, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, that sets you up for
my first memory. I'm not sure how old I was. It was Jungle Book,
horror movie,
Disney. So that's
Jungle
more.
Book.
See,
that was still
when I was 2 in 1979. I managed to somehow crawl out into the living room while I believe it was a CBS miniseries was playing Salem's Lot.
Nice.
And I got there just as the little vampire kid is floating outside of the other kid's window. I had nightmares for weeks about that. And it's one of my earliest memories. But I got so desensitized to horror movies that it is nearly impossible for those things to scare me at this point.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. I love horror movies. I've watched too many, too much. Yeah, it's just entertaining at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to do a lot of thinking after we were talking about last week about missing T2, and someone was like, well, what did you watch? As far as and I was like, I watched tons of Friday the 13th, I was, renting those movies like Nightmare on Elm Street, all that kind of stuff. And I don't even like gory horror. I like stuff that's just kind of suspenseful, and they show a little bit of stuff, and then it got too crazy, with those Saw movies and stuff like that. I'm I don't want to see that. And now I don't even really like watching horror movies. I don't need that kind of anxiety.
That's fair. Conversely, the first movie I saw in theaters was Rocky IV, which is why I like shitty fourth installments to movie franchises. Hashtag Superman 4 Quest for Peace.
It was so Rocky IV. That's the one with the
Ivan Drago.
Ivan, yeah.
And so Rocky 5 is the one where it was like a little bit later with that Tommy Gunn.
Tommy Gunn, yeah.
And I remember going to see that in the theater with my dad and like a friend, and like the whole theater, like people were cheering and stuff. Like it was the first time I've ever been to like an experience like that where people were all into the fight. Like it was a real fight.
It was the only time people liked Rocky 5.
In the theater.
In the theater in that moment. Yeah.
That's funny.
Rush, good evening. Collecting Rush in the chat. Sin is here too. Oh, he saw The Abyss for the first time last week and could not get into it. Okay. Interesting. Lone Dragon, for the record, I do not like Indiana Jones and Crystal Skull. That did not make my part 4 cut off.
Katie says Shia LaBeouf is the only real Indiana Jones.
Absolutely not. Flipuma, what's going on? That damn movie. Okay. So, toy news, right? I think that's why we're here. Yeah. Or movies. It doesn't matter. Interchangeable. I could talk about movies all night. Let's see. Let's take a look at a little bit of updates for some things. So Dan Yoon posted that Dragon Man should be charged this month. So everybody speculating that it should ship right when it charges. That's the understanding we were under. However, nothing's moved up, so it still says August 15th in the US for us waiting for it. But yeah, I don't know. Are you both of you guys ordered Dragon Man or?
Yeah,
same here. Really looking forward to it. So hey, the sooner the better. They're gonna have it on hand at San Diego, so that'll be like the first time people get to see a real life version other than like the models that they had previously at last year's Comic-Con. So I assume that it won't ship before San Diego because of that, but maybe like just following that weekend it starts to ship. Seems like that might be the possibility if they're going to charge it this month and then start to ship it out. So
yeah, that makes sense.
I think that'll be good. The other thing, we'll keep it with Hasbro for a moment. So Yojo June wrapped up, not as active as people may have hoped, right? We had 3 total streams, 2 of which focused on figures, 1 on comics, but they did wrap it up with the HasLab. So we have the Snowcat here. Are either of you backing the Snowcat?
So this is the first one that I didn't back on the first day. And I think I said in our group chat that I was going to have to think about it. And I didn't have to think about it long because I just realized and admitted to myself that even if we were to get snow here and I could take it outside and get snow photos with it, is that really $325 plus tax worth of it value and enjoyment for me? I don't want to set up a snow display. I don't care that much about Frostbite as a figure. And the rest of the stuff it's very Sunbow cartoon specific. And that's not what I'm into when it comes to G.I. Joe. So I have other hobbies, and I just decided that the money I had set aside for this year's classified HasLab, I was going to put into other stuff.
Yeah. Opens up the door for other things.
That seems super high for a vehicle. I have no car.
It is big.
It's for something that size. Like I get it with the plane and like the one that came out, was it last year? The
Dragonfly.
Yeah. That I could see 300, 400 for that. You know what I mean? But
the Hiss was 300, and this is bigger than the Hiss is.
Okay.
Like the cabin seats 2 people, whereas like the Hiss only seats 1. So it's really wide, and it's almost as tall as the Hiss. It's longer than the Hiss.
I forget these are 112 too. So
yeah, it's a big toy, and I see the value in it, just not like objectively. Yes, this is worth the price, but just for me personally, it's just not something that I'm going to get down on.
Yeah. And then if it funds fully, is there three total figures?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, does it come with some fake snow? That's interesting. But yeah, I'm with like the idea of if you lived in an area where there was more snow, that adds a fun layer to it. But yeah, not $325 fun for something like this. That I agree. Like I have no real attachment to this. So
I had the original as a kid. I liked it. Like, and it's a cool vehicle. It's just like, again, it's big. It's going to take up a ton of space. And like I said, I can just save that space for things I'm more enthusiastic about and put that money into like I said, other hobbies. So
true. Yeah. Christopher Allen.
Cool.
I'm just playing Christopher. You just say it's cheaper than the Hell Charger was going to be, so there is that. Well, Chris, if you're in the chat, are you backing this? I'm curious to know if you're backing it, but
it sounded like it.
That sounded pretty defensive, right? Yeah. All right, so right now it's sitting at 6,200 backers. They need 8,000 to fund, and then 3 tiers to unlock. So you got some things going on with that.
And what's the goal for the third unlock for Flint?
Probably what, 10 or 12,000?
Flint is at 14,000.
14. Oh, geez.
14. Yeah, I'm sure it'll hit that.
Lady J's at 10.
Once that, I mean, the middle tier is basically like a little play set, and once that hits and people see that added value to it, I think they'll push it up to that last figure too.
Sorry, in my brain, I was thinking like Star Wars vintage size for some reason in my head when I first seen it. That's why I was thinking about the price, and I take that all back. Like it's fine. Like yeah, I was thinking 1/18 for some reason.
So yeah, I mean, I think you're right though. Once it hits that middle tier, it'll definitely shoot up to the tier 3.
Yeah.
So it's 4? Oh no, 3 figures and then a play set, huh? That's cool.
Right.
And it's by play set. Like, I mean, it's a small little setup thing, but it reminds me a lot of the smaller play sets that G.I. Joe had in the 80s. So it's, it's like one of those, and it's got some cool accessories. It looks like a fun item, just not my thing.
I'm sure if they put that out, it'd be $35. So you know what I mean, or $40. So
at least, and then they pack a figure with it and charge $25 more.
Yeah,
60. Yeah, $59.99.
Yeah, like the snake armor is the first thing that they're selling without a figure, which kept the price down to like $75, which is why I got 2 of them.
See, Lorenz is looking forward to the middle tier the most. So okay, there you go.
Yeah, I'm sure he gets some snow up there.
Yeah, true. Let's see. Roach, when can you get on? Whenever, man. Just send me a message. There's a week specifically that is interesting to you. Let me know. Just for Roach is a longtime friend of mine. We were in a band together. He's actually the singer on the intro song to Encounter Culture song. Let's see, Chris. I'm not defensive. People can think it's overpriced. I was just pointing out that price point came in lower than the Hell Charger. I wanted the Hell Charger too. No, Chris, we're just messing with you. But I assume that you were backing it. It does. I mean, there is more than the Hell Charger, right? Yeah, so it makes sense that it would cost a little more. But yeah, we all miss the Hell Charger. R.I.P. So, Justin, what's going on, Justin? So yeah,
Justin.
I think we're all out on that, but hey, it looks good. It's cool for whoever wants it, right? So yeah. If you want it, get out there. You've got time left. They haven't even hit the 8,000 yet, but it'll happen. G.I. Joe fans tend to make it happen for them. So
it's kind of funny how easy it is to sit here and talk about how cool a HasLab is, even though we're not getting it. Like,
yeah,
I feel like other people could have done that in the past, and maybe we'd have that Hell Charger.
You know what? It's interesting how that works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the Ghostbusters car. I thought that was super cool. It's just one of them things. I just didn't have room for that size of, like, I didn't know. I have room. I just didn't want to prioritize that room for that particular
Something
item.
that's yeah.
You didn't want to kick out that last few pair of sneakers.
No, I almost backed it, but I just didn't want to try to sell just the vehicle later. Like, I wanted the figures, but whatever.
Happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. Shout out Mike Delta Sierra in the chat. Let's see. Oh, damn. Yeah, it was appropriate to publicly shit on Hell Charger and then act bum when it didn't get backed. Yeah. Self-inflicted. So. And then, yeah, you can always look on eBay for the add-ons if you want to get anything like that. I'm sure people will be selling the figures too. Some people, I don't know, maybe they don't want those figures for whatever reason. I don't know why people do what they do. So there you go. 4 Horsemen. All right, Mythic Legions announced some pre-orders this week. James?
Oh, yeah, I watched the live stream last night, and yeah, right now I'm in for like 3 things, and I'm like on the fence because I just don't know about the small. So they have these small scale ones that you can see they're like literally half the size of a figure, so they're probably like a little bit bulkier than a 1/18th like Star Wars figure, like a little wider, but I don't know. They're the same price as the full size figure, and that bugs me. And I know it takes tooling and stuff to make everything look really great, but I don't know about the full wave. It is a good deal. I kind of want the polar bear. I just canceled my snake eyes with the polar bear.
Yeah.
And because that's $80, and I guarantee it's way better, like altogether than the one that's going to be the Hasbro one,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but anyways, I'm in definitely for the werewolf. I actually had it pulled up so I wouldn't remember for I see their names.
Yeah, werewolf looks
Garmier.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's this size. That's why I had this on hand. It's like so this is a standard size figure.
Yeah.
So this is how big the werewolf's gonna be.
Okay, yeah, pretty big. Yeah.
Yeah. That's also kind of one of my pickups, the purple one.
Let's see. Pickup number 1. Purple one.
The head.
It's like a Cthulhu type of deal. What do we got going on here?
Yeah, like Cthulhu or Mind Flayer.
Okay,
yeah. But pretty cool. It's from Wolf King Customs, the heads. And they just come gray, like 3D printed, but that's what I did on my birthday. I painted like 3 figures. I painted Gene's boots on. Nice. Instead of destroying a figure. I thought I was like, I'll try to paint it first, and then if I screw up painting, then I'll cut her legs off.
Right. That's a good plan, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. The paint I have a little dark. I'm going to try to get a lighter coat on there, but like I got pretty close. Like now I'm interrupting with shit that I'm just doing at home.
No, that's all right. It's part of the charm of this show,
On the shelf, it's fine, far away. You look at it's a little golden, and it took me like 40 coats.
to get it like a good,
to
not
get it
like,
right.
yeah.
Like I was being impatient. I sprayed it with primer and then I didn't wait long enough and it was sticky. And so I had to I wiped it off and I just started doing coats of yellow and whatever. Anyways, it looks okay. It was good enough. Looks better than all green.
If you slap enough paint on it, it'll look like the boots are sculpted on.
Yeah.
There you go. Once you get to like the 80th layer, you should have that look. Yeah.
And then I'm going for the blue orc guy. Let's see. I'm horrible with these names. Jakul Ironbones. So he's
cool Iron Bones. I went to high school with that guy.
So he's the guy next to the polar bear. Yeah. And then the girl. So it's like kind of Mythic Legions, like Elsa, or Mythic Legions Barbie.
Okay. Let's see. Let's take a look at Jakul here.
Yeah, that one.
Nope, that's the wolf.
Oh wait, I can barely see. Oh, the one below.
There he is. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a lot of great detail in there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, they have cool. It has some fur and stuff like that. And what's cool is like the pieces on their actual leather and the cloth goods. Like the one dude, what's his name? Halfard of Frothvar. His cloth goods are just amazing, like the layers and stuff. But yeah, that's a cool face. I got the Frost Ogre from a different wave, like pre-ordered. It's the same like color, and it's like starting to build out the kind of Frost orcs.
Yeah.
So John, someone in the chat, I can't remember who it was, said not tonight, but I'm not even sure where it was at. Said that the Mythic Legion stuff or it was David Evans Smith said that this stuff was dweeb shit or weeb shit or whatever.
Weeb shit?
Yeah. No.
Not even close.
Okay.
No, this is like Tolkien shit, like what Kurt likes. Like that's fantasy stuff.
I even retorted that. I said John will back me up. This isn't weeb shit.
Yeah, no,
I don't even
absolutely
know if you collect any of this stuff, but
yeah, no, I'm not into the fantasy stuff. But I will say, if the little white fox guy, if he were in the Cosmic Legions line and wearing like a sci-fi type outfit, I'd have bought the hell out of that.
Yeah, I'm sure that they'll do that scale, So yeah, that head is cool. It's almost too cute for me. I'm not sure what I would do with that, but
I like it. Reminds me of a Star Wars critter. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the like things that just looks like an animal, but it's actually a person. Like that, something like that. Again, if it were in the Cosmic Legions and had a good sci-fi look to it, I'd have been all over that one. But I just don't do knights and dragons and wizards or whatever.
Yeah.
That sounded way more dismissive and shitty than I intended it to come out. But
that's okay. You can't collect, you don't have to collect everything. That's probably for me, besides it's probably like my third love. My first love would be Star Wars, even though I'd started collecting the figures later, and then the Marvel stuff. But I really love the witches and wizards and fantasy and stuff like that, like playing all the video games and stuff.
Something like this, when it's going to one of the smaller companies, like I have nothing but good things to say about them and the work that they do and the stuff they put out. Everyone seems real happy with it. So it's good to see people supporting the smaller companies, especially these days.
Yeah.
And so it's getting me because I'm definitely, like I said, in for the girl, the werewolf, the blue orc, and then I kind of want the polar bear, and then I kind of want the little dude, the little gnome guy, Burris Bergen story. So if you look at that, he comes with a keg, and then like the accessory set is another keg and a bunch of beer signs.
a bunch of kegs and beer steins.
Okay. Yeah. And it has some food and stuff like that, so you can set up a whole. But then it's like I end up with a couple figures that like the Fox. That's one of them things like maybe I'll want that later, and like all this stuff will cost like $15, $20 more. You know, once it goes to the other retailers,
right?
And so it's like it's almost worth it just to buy it, and then if I don't like it, I know I'll be able to break even.
Yeah.
And then but then if I do end up wanting it, then I'll keep it. Because there's certain stuff I bought a bunch of stuff where they did like one of their in stock sales or something like that, and I bought a bunch of extra figures and stuff, and I wasn't really sure what I was doing with them, and I just set them aside, and some of them I've opened, some of them I just got my money back on eBay. But now that I'm painting and stuff, it's kind of cool to have the extra parts and stuff like that. But yeah, I like that little dude.
Yeah. Justin's asking me for getting a brown bear.
I just wish the two little guys were like a pack, and because they're $42 a piece, and I just wish they were like both together for. It'd make me feel better if they were like 65, maybe 70.
That's a lot of accessories, though, and
yeah,
I know logically you realize volume of plastic has very little to do with the price of these things.
Yeah.
So like if you like the figure, like it's going to have, the same great paint detail that their other things have. So like if you like it, don't even think about it like that. Just grab it so you don't regret it later.
Yeah. And plus these are the first ones they've doing of these ones. So it'd be kind of cool to check them out. And yeah, that little Fox and it like this, so the head size. So a lot of the pieces aren't interchangeable with the other stuff because of the size.
Yeah.
But the heads are actually the same scale as 2.0 figures, as most of the newer figures. So you can actually on those little bodies put the other heads, and it's supposedly will work.
Okay.
That fire is cool too. You can put one of them little candles underneath it, and it glows like a flick.
Oh, that's cool.
They have it hollowed out, so you can put one of them little electric candles underneath it.
Oh, that's a nice touch. It's like something subtle but cool that they did that. Let's see. Rush says it all looks amazing, but just have to admit that I don't have the room for it. I agree, Rush. I agree. It does all look good. Like I'm always impressed. This is like we were talking about earlier. This is one of those things that I appreciate from afar, right? Like, it looks great. I don't have anywhere for it, but I certainly love looking at it. I mean, they always do such a great job.
While I have John on in person, I would personally thank him for picking me up something at Joe Fest that's right now only at the cons from Mythic Legions. It's like their ultimate barbarian. Like, so it kind of has like a He-Man head and a Conan head.
Yeah. Because when we got there kind of late on Friday and like I was just talking to people and catching up with people and stuff. And then I made my way back there and he was like, yeah, we're sold out for the night. And I'm like, cool. I don't care about people who didn't come on Friday. Like, I'm here now. I mean, I wasn't a dick about it, but like, whatever. So he was like, yeah, try early tomorrow, or we will set aside some for early Sunday too. So we got up early Saturday, went to like a little local coffee place and had some coffee, and then just went straight there, like no shower, nothing. And just like found a free place to park. So I didn't have to park in the parking deck and pay for it. And I walked back and I'm like half asleep still. And I just look at the guy at the table and I hold up the phone with the image you had sent me. I was like, yeah, my friend wanted me to pick one of these up. And I was like, do you have any? He was like, yeah, it's right there. They were literally on the table right in front of me. So I made an ass of myself for you, James.
Thank you so much. And I was wondering, because you hit me up so early and said you got it the next day. And I was like, damn, he got there super early. I was like, now I feel bad that you made a special like trip.
Yeah, and
for parking.
There's this like food truck in Augusta that was at their Pride celebration last year that they do boba tea, but they also do this like Vietnamese tropical fruit infused tea that I really love. Like it was honestly, I liked that more than the convention last year. It was so good. So while we were over there, we went to the little farmers market in downtown Augusta, and there was that truck sitting there with some tea. So I was happy to do it because I made out too.
There you go.
Nice.
Well, at least you found it, because James had asked me. I went to ZoloCon earlier in the year and they had it there. But by the time I saw James's message, I went over and the guy was like, "Yeah, we're done for the day. You can come back tomorrow." But I was like, "Well, I'm not coming back tomorrow. Anything? Right. Can we do anything about this now?" But
yeah, no, I kind of just wrote it off. Like, like I'll wait because at the end of the year, they're supposed to release some online on their website or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when John mentioned something about Joe Fest, I was like, "Oh shit, that's right."
Look, there are some people that I would have been like, "Yeah, man, they just keep selling out." But for you, I was like, "I'll get up early on Saturday."
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I was like,
for Justin, they could have had a whole pallet of them. I would have been like, "Nah, Justin."
They were out. They were sold out 5 minutes into the con. I don't know what happened. It's a hot ticket item. I guess keeping it con exclusive related. Jada announced their third SDCC exclusive, which will be the Mega Man Neo Metal little guys. Okay, so we've got that. Interesting.
I don't know what these are. I played like the first Mega Man a few times as a kid, but I didn't get that into it.
Yeah, if someone gave this to me, I wouldn't be mad. But
yeah,
like I'm not trying to get it.
Yeah, it's cool, fun, though. It's fine, but I'm with you, John. Like I played Mega Man games on Nintendo. Maybe that was too early on NES. I don't remember these, but at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think that the graphics were that good that these things would have looked like anything like
maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. It just no connection to the look here. I just remember little yellow balls rolling around, I guess. But
I feel like if you're into Mega Man enough to collect all those figures, though, you probably know what these are and want them. So
that's fair. That's a fair point. They do. I mean, they look decent. I like the box, though. It seems like a pretty good design there. Definitely NES Mega Man. So I don't know that. Yeah, missed me. But all right, so that's going to be one of your Jada Con exclusives that's coming up. And then, as we know, was announced in the last couple of weeks, obviously the Street Fighter 2 Player 2 figures are the other Jada SDCC exclusives. But we got more images this week, and man, I am loving the accessories that they're putting with these. I don't know that I'll get them because like I already have the Player 1 versions, but some cool stuff going on with these. Obviously you get like the burned up guy, but these flame effects, and there's an alternate head with Dalsim. Yeah, like this one where he's blowing the fire out.
Yeah,
really cool.
Yeah, it's a cool set. I'm not into Street Fighter. I'm not going to buy it, but I really love those accessories.
Yeah, I'm definitely in for Dead Dalsim. I'm still on the fence. I want the M Bison in a way just for the electrified accessory.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Yeah, but I already have 2 M Bisons. And so this would be my third player.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. And they don't have the price up yet. I don't know if they're going to be 40. I think the other con exclusives were 39 last year.
I guess, right? I mean, it seems like they shouldn't be too much more than your regular release. And I don't know, maybe they would constitute like a deluxe set, right? Because you do get that other like this with it, right? So
yeah, because I think that the Chung Li one, you didn't get that much more stuff, and I think they charged 35 or 40. I can't remember what it was for this. And
yeah, Rush, he's in there. Bison's in the electrical effect in the picture. It's awesome. But yeah, I agree. I don't think they charge. I don't remember what they charged. I picked one up last year at New York Comic Con, but it was for somebody else, so I didn't, think to remember.
Fireball is epic too. Like you could use that in so many like pictures and stuff like that. That fireball.
Yeah.
Like with Marvel Legends and stuff, you could have it behind or with like Johnny Storm.
Yeah, and the other set, the guy who's being burned up that's all red, like there are plenty of like figures that already have flame effects and stuff that would work real well with.
Yep. So that's the thing. Like I hope they put these out by themselves later on. I don't know though, right? Like that kind of takes away from it being a special pack.
Yeah.
But maybe it'll be.
That would be cool if they did an accessory set for their Street Fighter stuff, just with more, like, just a bunch of the accessories, like extra. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah. I like it. I'm looking forward to it. I definitely want to see it in person. It might be something that I pick up, but it's not like a priority. It's one of those things like when I see it, then I make the decision, I guess, because I really don't want the Player 2 versions of these, but I want the stuff that comes with these. So it's a pain in the ass. But
whatever the price is, you just cost Christopher Allen that much money. So
that's speaking of Christopher,
I'm sure you wouldn't have a problem though. Like if you bought both of them, kept the accessories you wanted, and you sold them, you'd pay not that much for the accessories.
That's a good point, right? Like somebody out there wants the figure,
yeah,
but not necessarily the other things.
Yeah, and if they got it for a little cheaper, you know what I mean? If they paid, you know what I mean? Like you're not going to get your money back, but you're going to you could be like, I'm going to get these for $20 and then
take a chunk out. Yeah.
Do they do these online after the convention, or how do they do their exclusives?
So they did like with the Chun-Li and the Violent Ken last year. Eventually, there was limited releases of those, right?
Yeah,
or maybe that was actually more recently. Actually, but
it seemed like they did it almost simultaneously. I think they released them online at the same time as SDCC. At least, no.
No, I'm Justin's comment, but
I think at least with the Chung-Li, I'm not sure about the.
I mean, it makes sense because they take them to other cons too. Like they're going to take these to New York Comic Con, even though it's saying it's a San Diego exclusive. Like they'll be at New York as well. So
yeah,
and then they'll probably trickle out from there.
Yeah, because even that flame on, that'll be a cool thing with my Mythic Dragon too.
Yeah.
Just another burnt body.
Exactly. See, people are going to need at least like 5 of those burnt body things to use for pictures and displays. So other Street Fighters. So well, John, you don't collect the Street Fighter stuff, but James, do you collect the Storm collectible stuff or just the Jada?
I only have Zangief because they haven't done that in Jada for one, and I just wanted it so bad, and I figured that the scale, even though it's a little bigger, it's Zangief, so it makes sense.
Yeah. So
I would like a Zangief figure, but just because of Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's a good point.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool display too. Like I imagine, like if you went through that movie and picked out some of the stuff, and you did a Wreck-It Ralph display, that'd be pretty neat.
See, that's like the kind of shelf where you have just some random stuff and you don't know what to do with it, and that's a perfect solution. You know, something like that, or Ready Player One, right? You know, just has a bunch of.
That's such a good movie. See, I've seen that. Ready Player One is fucking awesome.
But yeah, so Blanca Player 2 version. It looks cool, but obviously Jada has shown that they're doing Player 2 versions, and I guess sometimes Player 3 versions in some cases. So it'll eventually make its way down the pipeline over there as well. So
I wish they would have done that face with the Jada one, the KO face, the one where the eyes are popping out.
Oh yeah, see that, you know where that's going to pop up though? It's going to be
at their con exclusive next year.
Next year's con exclusive, yeah.
Yeah.
You'll get some different.
Another Blanca figure, right? Like what blue? Is there a blue one? I think.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember all the colors. Yeah, I do have another small collectible, but I've never opened it. I have the Maya from the King of Fighters. Because like literally right after I got this, they said they're going to start doing 1/12 scale. And so I don't know if they're going to do a 1/12 scale of this. So.
Yeah.
But it has some crazy accessories with it too. But I got it on sale on Big Bad's Toy Store, so I don't feel too bad about getting it and not opening it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so something that's a little less exciting and not as good. How about some Mcfarlane Toys, right? Because it's obligatory at this point, and I know that John loves to hear about it. So
God, that Wonder Woman might be the worst looking one they've done so far. It's so bad.
Yeah, so Superboy and Wonder Woman went up for pre-order on Tuesday. Sold out immediately. Somehow these figures still sell out right away when they go on pre-order.
I don't know how that Superboy sold out. Like, especially after our episode, was it last week or the week before, and Alexi talking about his Mafex Superboy with the coat, and it just was beautiful. Do you have that one too?
I do. Yeah, the Mafex.
Yeah, I want to get that. And I've never even read a comic with Superboy.
What pisses me off about this one though is like, all right, you're doing it in the Page Punchers line, which I like the line because it comes with a comic book, right? Very reminiscent of a bygone era, but they give you the comic book, show you the inspiration, and then immediately ignore said inspiration.
Yep. Yeah, like the glasses,
yeah, no glasses, no jacket.
And how much are these?
He looks way too
20, 25.
So they are up to 25 now?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Some of them are 30. Like I think the Wonder Woman one was 30, I think.
Even if you had the glasses and the jacket.
Right, they were $29.99.
Because I bought the Wonder Woman because I'll buy anything Wonder Woman. So there you go. I don't know. I'm
James,
hoping the face is
don't worry.
Person.
You're not alone. I'm a sucker, right? So I bought both of these. So don't feel bad.
Well, this has an S on the chest. You had to.
Exactly. You know, I've set my fortunes. But yeah, it's not a good version of this figure. This body, it's on like this older, very lanky body that they use.
The anatomy is wild.
Yeah.
It looks like Plastic Man starting to stretch out. Like, what the fuck?
I'm just very much waiting for Mattel to take the reins.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to buy all the Superman shit in the meantime. So
is this the only version of this character in McFarlane?
No, so there's a new 52 version, which actually, oddly enough, that one has a jacket on. So it's not like they didn't already have the pieces in place to just
there's a few Red Hood
reuse it.
Figures with jackets.
So the jacket exists in McFarlane. But here we are. Can't justify picking up McFarlane anymore, knowing that they are losing the license. I'm with you, Rush. I'm just buying. I stopped buying everything else a long time ago, but kept buying the Superman stuff against my better judgment.
I still want the Hot Girl. So if anyone comes across that, let me know.
Yeah, that Hawk Girl.
I'm still good with my DC Universe Classics. Superboy in the black shirt and jeans, like.
But there you go. It's a face only a mother could love.
My God.
But I mean, it does. Like, if you look at the old comics, it doesn't look that far off, I guess. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean it's not just the face. Like it's the whole thing. It's bad.
Okay.
And like the previous Wonder Woman that they did was nowhere near this bad looking. Like it wasn't good because it was a McFarlane figure, but
it was better.
This is a step back. Yeah. Again, it's I don't like it because of like all the usual McFarlane things about it, but it's a much better looking figure than this new one is.
Yeah. So that's that. That's the McFarlane update I have for you this week. You can put that to rest and move on.
You know which tab I'm waiting for you to get to.
I don't know.
Do you know when they're supposed to have the Super Friends? Like there's another wave of those coming out. Is that should be soon, I think.
Yes, yeah, they're doing another one. Superman's in that one.
Yeah, and Flash. I actually came across this at my local Walmart. Got one of the Chase ones. The Riddler. It's so funny because they didn't put out another one. They just made a character a Chase. Like, I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, I think they're just like making weird decisions, right? Why not? It's anarchy at this point.
Because let's say how I ordered that Batman and I got the red one. Like, what character would I order and then get the Riddler? Like,
right.
It don't even make sense.
So
well, I guess McFarlane.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you need to say. McFarlane. Mezco for their Mezco Con announced a new 52 Nightwing. So I guess better DC, but again, that also depends on your thoughts about soft goods on 1/12 scale figures and the pajamas that these wear. So
yeah, I have one Mezco figure and it'll be my only one that I'll ever own. And so
well, which one is it?
I don't like the idea of it. Like I'm still on the fence about the Doom Mezco, but I have the Ghost Rider alternate from Big Bad Toy Store.
Okay.
And it's a dope looking figure, but it's like the vinyl clothing on it or whatever is sketchy. Like I just feel like it's just gonna rip apart. And
I mean, it'll eventually start flaking off if nothing else.
Yeah. I have it posed. I'm hoping if I just don't move it at all, it'll just be fine. And I did get the sick red bike. So
I think that's the best plan. Yeah, I have two Mezco figures, a Superman, obviously, and a Wolverine. I just posed them and I'm not moving them ever again because I agree. It's like I'm concerned that the fabric will rip, and at that price, who wants that?
Or even once you make that stretch it a little to pose it.
Ghost Rider with the Johnny Blaze with the blue outfit again.
Yeah, people seem to like that one.
Marvel Legends. Sorry. Yeah.
So I think it's safe to say everybody's out on New 52 Nightwing or Mezco.
Yeah, I don't do New 52 or Mezco, so that's 2 no's.
So 2 strikes. All right. Last week we talked about the tease for SH Figure Arts Superman. This week they did reveal some images, and then immediately the internet went out and told us that we're actually getting a Shooter McGavin Superman figure.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast? No.
I feel like the likeness is there. Doesn't look like David Cornsweat, but I definitely see Shooter McGavin here.
I mean, I think it's on par with most of their like actor likenesses.
Just someone else entirely.
Yeah, I mean, nothing I've ever seen that they did really looked like the actor it was supposed to represent.
Yeah, so I don't collect SH Figure Arts anyway, but if I had any temptation to do so, I'm out on this. So I guess if you like it, you like it. I don't know, James.
No, I yeah, nothing to do with it. I'll see the movie. How about that?
Yeah, that's it.
I promise I'll watch the movie this summer.
It comes out next week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which
I'm very much looking forward to. So
yeah, it looks cool. Like I'm excited. I haven't watched the Superman movie because I didn't watch any of the like newer. I watched the Justice League movie altogether, but I didn't like watch like anything since like Christopher Reeves basically, and like the TV show stuff.
Yeah,
Smallville and Lois and Clark. Lois and Clark's like that's what I grew up watching all the time.
I like that show. Yeah, I watched that all the time growing up.
I don't know if it was just a Terry Hatcher thing or
probably.
Yeah.
The other
Here we go.
Superman item that was put out more images this week. Some people have got it in hand. I saw a certain YouTuber by the name of Shartimus had a review up today of it. But this one actually does look like David Cornsweat. So there you go.
That one looks cool. What is that?
It's a Hot Toys.
What brand is this? Oh, Hot Toys. No wonder.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is the scale where it's okay to use fabric for the clothing.
yeah. Where it looks good. I mean, this thing looks great, but I still don't think it's going to get me to buy my first Hot Toys.
Really?
Yeah, I'd purposely avoid, like, I'll see the promo pictures and I don't even delve into it any further. Like, I just try not to, like, I don't even want to get involved with my stuff. Like, it's so expensive.
I really thought when I saw the display base and crypto and everything, I thought sure you were going to be in on this, Kenny.
I say that now. Talk to me again next week.
Okay.
All right. Things could change. It
what
looks
about
awesome.
Like a Christopher Reeves one, Hot Toys? Like if they did his likeness and it was
they did it and you passed on it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
So that, I mean, if I had a chance, like a swing at that one again, I would do that. But this, because I haven't seen the movie, I have no ties to it at the moment. It's hard to justify like paying for Hot Toys for something I haven't seen, So
yeah.
But I mean, I like that you get crypto, you get this like little Fortress of Solitude base piece going on.
The suit looks great. Yeah. And you see how where the fabric, like where he bends and everything, because of the larger scale, it almost looks natural. Like it doesn't.
Yeah.
it doesn't throw it off. No, you still have to like be careful, like with certain materials that Hot Toy uses, like what kind of poses you leave them in, just like with any other doll that has fabric clothing. But it looks really good.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. It's always so wild to me how well they can execute these likenesses, man. It just in picture, it looks so real. It's weird. There's Crypto looking cool. Look at that guy.
Yeah, some of these that I have behind me just look like they shrunk the actors down. Like it's uncanny.
Yeah, like my thing I try to stay away from too is like the Mondo, like He-Man stuff. Like I want it so bad, like it just looks so dope, but I'm just like I can't get into that, like a whole nother scale, and I don't know. They're so expensive.
Yeah, but they look great.
Yeah,
they look great. Yeah, this base does look awesome too, though.
It does.
All right, I'm tempted.
I guess we'll find out next week.
We will, and I'm seeing the movie twice next week. So,
because you did the Prime early screening, right?
Yeah, I'm going to see it on Tuesday and Thursday, which I guess means next week's stream will be on Friday. Look at that.
Yep.
See how that works. But so maybe if on Tuesday I feel uneasy, by Thursday I should have a solid opinion about the movie. So
yeah.
And then I will let you know if I'm buying my first Hot Toys. All right. So the other one I pulled up because, John, I figured maybe you'd have something on this. I don't know if this is of interest to you, but I did see that they have this Clone Commander Gregor figure.
Yeah, Gregor, I love the character. He's in the Clone Wars. He's in Rebels. He's got a really good story. But I don't do that era of Star Wars in Hot Toys.
Okay.
Because again, like we've been talking about, they take up a lot of space.
Mm-hmm.
They're expensive. So I have just focused pretty narrowly on like the New Republic era, like the Disney Plus era stuff, like Mando, Boba Fett, Ahsoka, stuff like that.
Yeah, you got to have some rules when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah,
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
like just combining every character, Hot Toys. Like
and I would when they did the Attack of the Clones, Anakin and Padme, like those looked so good, and I was very, very tempted on those, but I held out and I didn't do it. So like I'm just sticking with the era that I'm focused on and make it like a clean, curated collection where I'm not cramming things into the shelves and it's so packed that you can't really approve, because each one, like all action figures and dolls and toys and everything are works of art, like artists created it. But these are like masterpieces when it comes to action figures. So
yeah, you definitely don't want to bury these in a display. You have to highlight each one.
Yep.
Is there a Queen Amidala Hot Toys, or like with the red dress?
I don't think so. I think all they've done is the Attack of the Clones, like the white.
That's something that I would buy the one figure.
I would be tempted. I would be very tempted. I would love for them to do that in Black Series. I don't get super excited about a lot of figures.
Black Series, no question. I would.
But if they did that and put the detail into it and just do it as a convention exclusive or whatever, charge more money for it so you can actually put the detail into it and do it right, and I would eat that up.
Well, like the box they put the black and white figure in, and with the cloth goods and stuff too. Like, I mean, she's the damn queen. She's the mother of Luke and Leia. Let's make it a beautiful, huge. Like they could make a killing on it and make something beautiful too. Because every Star Wars collector would have to have it.
Well, all of the ones who don't hate the prequels anyway.
Right. Yeah.
I think even the ones that used to hate the prequel realize how actually. I guess you go back and you can pick apart like some acting stuff and some slow stuff that you don't like, but I don't know. I just love it. I love the extra lore. I don't know. I guess I'm on the team that's always loved it. So,
and I think the further away you get from their initial release, the more people can appreciate it, right? I think when those first started coming out, I mean, there's a lot of pressure to build, you know, and it's easy for people to shit on it.
People judging based on their nostalgia for how the originals made them feel. Just people who grew up with the prequels did that to the sequel trilogy. Like, these don't make me feel how I did when I was a kid. Well, nothing is going to do that.
That's life, all right?
Yeah.
I think with me, with those movies, it was like, I remember them from when I was a kid, you know, basically, like, we didn't rent them all the time or anything like that. I was too young to have seen them in theater. And then when they re-released, you know, all of them before the prequels came out, I'm talking about the original trilogy.
In 97, the special editions.
Yeah. And I went to the theater and watched all 3 movies in one day back to back. And immediately I was just the biggest fan. Like, I was just like, this is my shit right here. I started buying the books, you know, just like paying attention to more of the lore and stuff like that. And then when the prequels come out, I was so ready for them because it was just like, I mean, it was hitting on all cylinders for me. I was around 17, 18 years old. So like, I don't know, this is awesome. Yeah, if they do that outfit, oh my God. I know it's basically like a Barbie holiday doll to some people, but
I mean, they're all dolls. Like, everything we buy are dolls. Like, action figure is just a marketing term to sell dolls to us.
Damn it, I need that clip. That was a perfect time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would be my centerpiece. Like, if even at 1/6 scale, I'd put that right in the middle of all my Black Series stuff and just build around it.
That looks great. Yeah, that was Adrian suggested to check that out, but
yeah, that's what popped up. It says $350 on AliExpress. Oh, $455. It just switched to when I clicked into it.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It says 34% off, and it's $455. Woo.
Damn. All right. So how about some a little bit of news, I guess, while we figure out the rest of the show here. All right.
Let's hit that news, though.
Hit us with that sweet, sweet news.
So sad to report, Reservoir Dogs star Michael Madsen passed away today at the age of 67. So,
oh man, I didn't even hear that.
Yeah,
sad.
So, I was always a fan of his. Right, he doesn't pop up in a lot of stuff, but everything he's in is pretty good. He's a staple in like Tarantino's films, so that's where most of my exposure to the guy came from. But
Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, Reservoir Dogs.
That's a performance that stay with you forever.
Yeah.
The only reason I saw about this was because Robert Rodriguez posted about it earlier on Instagram.
Yeah. Imagine so. Yeah, I mean, I always say this to my friends, you know, the older we get, then we have to realize like the people we grew up watching and everything, like they're starting to, you know, kind of fade away, and it's of that era.
And not just the people we watched, but what we read too, because Jim Shooter.
Jim Shooter.
Yeah. when you said if the news was just that he was 67, I was shocked enough just at that. I was like, God, that guy's that old. You know what I mean? And then I forget I just turned 45 yesterday.
Right.
So, like I'm like, oh yeah, that makes He definitely was in his 20s when I was a kid watching that movie, Reservoir Dogs.
The reality, yeah. Wait, who's his? I didn't realize this. Who's his sister? Rush said his sister is famous actress.
I'm gonna assume it's Virginia Madsen, but I could be wrong about that.
Let's learn together. All right, Michael Madsen. Yeah. So, pretty snow. Speaking of snowcats, pretty slow news week, but yeah, I don't know. You guys, anything else toy wise that you want to cover? Anything I missed?
Just I know that we don't usually talk about 1/18 scale. Yeah. Okay, so it is Virginia Madsen. Okay. I know we don't usually talk about 1/18 scale. But I just figured I would just in case anyone's interested, send people to check out the Grindhouse Toys Kickstarter, because he's doing some like military horror O-ring figures. And Jennifer, my wife, she's in on. He's doing something there. I think they're called decapitators, and they're basically like 1/18 scale heads, like with like really exaggerated open mouths and then like spider legs coming off the heads. We saw these down at Joe Fest.
Is it the World War Hell? That's
yep.
Right?
Okay, yeah, and he had something on display. Even though I don't do the scale, he had one on display named Steamboat. And if you're familiar with recent copyright developments, I'm sure you can guess what Steamboat looks like. But that one I think would have been so far into a stretch goal that they haven't shown it yet. And I didn't get a photo of it, and I wish I had. But these look amazing, especially for O-ring figures. And it's already funded, and now they're just trying to hit stretch goals. So if anyone likes the scale and is interested in some cool horror military themed stuff. These are very interesting, very nice looking. Looked amazing in person.
Nice. No, this looks cool.
Yeah.
I'll drop a link
in
the chat.
I'm terrible with names. I don't remember the guy's name, but he worked. He contributed to some of the Operation Monster Force stuff. So.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, these look cool. So did any reason why they went 1/18 scale, or that's just what they do?
I mean, I think that for people who grew up in the 80s, like it's nostalgia, familiar, you know, like people like them. And plus it helps with the world building because like, you know, you can go find like older play sets or vehicles that you can customize for these or like whatever, you know? So like it definitely helps with the world building. But this guy with the alternate head, that's basically just the exploding blood pile there. Yeah, it's cool. It's very cool stuff.
I like it. And this is the packaging.
Yeah. Like I have his business card here, and I just thought this, as someone who works in marketing professionally, I thought this was brilliant. It looks like an old Blockbuster membership card. And it's laminated like the Blockbuster card was. And then on the back, it's got the QR code to scan. And I was very impressed with these. I loved these.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And you like the VHS style packaging and everything.
Yeah.
It's not my scale, but it's all like very, very cool. And the more we hear stories about a Corey Cantaloupe, a John Warden, a Ryan Ting, the more motivated I am to budget less money toward corporate stuff and more money toward independent creators.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a couple of, well, they've already ended, but Kickstarter things that I'm waiting for, like figures wise. I'm excited to get. One of them is a Zombie Tramp. I don't know if you've ever even heard of Zombie Tramp.
Nope.
It's just goofy horror comic, sexy goofy horror comic, and then I did that. Damn, what's the name of it? I can't remember.
And you see the little fake price sticker on here. It looks like the old Toys R Us price sticker.
Yeah. Like this. So Sergeant Graves. This is a very Michael Graves-esque alternate head here. So
this guy is very cool.
Oh, the Cursed Dead Kickstarter.
Cursed Dead.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember. It was a few months ago. But they have some really cool figures.
You can back the Kickstarter right now, Lorenz.
I'd almost want one of these just in package.
They're really cool.
Go down that green one, or scroll down just a little bit more. I wanted to see this one, the Army Man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like this is something you could hang on the wall.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a nice touch. And then especially having like the options for like your green little army men, right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. The one with the chainsaw too. The first one, at the top.
Yeah. And I think the decapitators. Yeah. So this is what my wife was like. Yeah, I have to have that.
Yeah. So these are cool too. Like even if you don't want the other stuff, right? Like just want something to fill in little spaces in a display. You could use those for sure.
And even with the smaller heads, if you have like like demons or something around like your Madeline Pryor, there's always options for something like this.
Absolutely. No, that's cool, man. I appreciate the attention to detail too, and like building an entire world, around this.
Yeah, because I mean, it's one thing to just put out a cool action figure, but if you can give me an idea of a story behind it, that gets me a little bit more interested. And obviously, not everything has to have that, because you have your own imagination, but it definitely adds to it.
Yeah. So if anybody is interested in backing this Kickstarter, I did put the link in the chat. That's on Kickstarter. Grindhouse Toys, World War Hell. So it's cool. And it looks like, they're already meeting some of the goals too to unlock those stretches. So
and with 10 days to go, I have a feeling that this is going to have a real nice final number on it.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I sent you on Instagram the zombie tramp thing in that Cursed Dead.
Okay.
You don't have to do it online, but the zombie tramp figure is done by the Loose Collector.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another one that I love seeing doing articulated action figures, because I still have his resin cast Lockjaw in my Marvel Legends display. I have no interest in the Hasbro one because the one that he did just looks so fantastic.
All right, so let's see. Zombie Tramp.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I got the black and white one and the green one, the figures. I figure it's just one of the things that'd be cool that not a lot of people will have them to,
Yeah. You know what? This would be good on like the Dante's Inferno.
Yeah. I finally opened last night. I got tired of waiting for my Dante's Inferno, but I opened my Purgatory figure. This thing is freaking awesome. I highly recommend it. And both head sculpts are really cool. Oh, I don't got the other one next. Oh yeah, it's right here. Damn them titties. Yeah, I was surprised the wings on this thing are like super light. Like Hasbro should take notes. They're like they're so light. Yeah, it's cool. I figure I'd put her in my graveyard of skeletons and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, and here's the black and white or black, white, and red one. It's pretty good. Oh, take them all. Sold out. Okay. So it's doing well. Looks good. Yeah. I mean, I think that's definitely something that you could use on the Dante's Inferno for sure.
And I'm sure since it's loose collector, they'll end up making those retail available, at least one version of it.
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
Hey, Chi-Chi, morning. Thanks for dropping in. Oh, let's see. Somebody's here from Vegas. Alexi with the $4.99 super chat. I don't do drugs. I just like the smell of Vegas, baby. Sure, Alexi, sure.
That was cool. Yeah, that was cool.
Hopefully Vegas is treating you all right, Alexi. You know, throw down some money on craps. And when you get to roulette, apparently always bet on black, which doesn't work out in my case because, you know, I always lose. So I can't give you good advice as far as betting on roulette.
I just stay out of casinos.
That's probably, you know, that takes all of the removes any of the issues, right? So
yeah, I don't mind playing cards with friends, and if I lose money to friends, I don't mind that, but I can't stand I'm too competitive. So if I go into those casinos, like I'm like, oh, I lost, I gotta get my money back. Or
no, my approach, like if we go on vacation to somewhere where they have a casino, and is like, all right, cool, let's go. I'm not taking my debit card with me. I'm taking $100 cash, and it's basically just like, let's have some fun on vacation money. And if you win, great. And if you lose it, cool. I would have spent that $100 in just as little time doing something else on vacation. Not a problem.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Lorenz gave a little context here, but he says his white grandpa was standing behind me for the longest, all while the zombie tramp was there. Had to pull up a new tab. Maybe he wants to back the campaign. You know, you didn't even give him a chance.
Just make sure he doesn't stumble on your OnlyFans once you start that, Lorenz.
Chi-Chi, Alexi, good luck at the casino. And remember, only bet what you can afford to lose. And then when you lose it, bet whatever you have left to try to recoup it. That's good advice. Trust me. Don't do that second part. Listen to Chi-Chi, not Mimi. All right.
Real quick, this was the figure last week that I was waiting for, and it is actually sitting downstairs for most of the time we were on last week. My wife just didn't let me know, which, you know, she doesn't have to let me know anything, I guess. But yeah,
you said something about that, James.
the Frazetta ball and chain warrior.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this thing's really cool. The fur cloak and I like the real metal like on the ball and chain, and it's cool. Anyways.
Well, update from Lorenz. Grandpa did make a joke about him and his wife showering together to save money, so possibly he will back the OnlyFans. So you've got options, I suppose. But yeah,
money?
It does save money on the water, not on the OnlyFans. Unless there's
You're married, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I'm just gonna bite my tongue on that one.
How do we get out of this? I don't know.
Yeah, James, do you have any more pickups that you can show us now?
Just these.
There we go.
Oh, we got some Fantastic Four. Yeah, so obviously you haven't opened them yet, but what are your first impressions on in the box?
I think this will probably replace. I have the flamed on other Johnny Storm, and I think it'll replace that because it's very gummy and it likes to fall over. So I'm hoping this is a little more sturdy. And then the Silver Surfer, I don't even know. I got it more for I'm hoping the stand and everything is really cool.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, and so, yeah. I'm like tempted to get the other figures just for the outfits and then put the comic heads on them. Because I don't really do MCU, but it's kind of cool to have the outfits. But I don't know.
Well, yeah, I don't do MCU specifically, but there are definitely MCU figures that I will buy and work into my comic display if the character is not available, or I just think the MCU figure looks better. Like I have from the Xavier and Magneto 2-pack, I have the Professor X with the James McAvoy head as my Professor X in the chair in my display, because I don't like the 90s hover chair thing. So that works better. But I don't tend to do MCU specific stuff. So, I'll skip these, but they do look good.
They do. I think even Dan showed like the Human Torch with the other Fantastic Four teams, and that worked well as a stand-in. Like if you don't have a Human Torch for whatever reason, too. So.
Yep.
But yeah, with the Silver Surfer, I do like the base, so I'd be curious to see how that worked with like one of the comic Silver Surfers. Could be cool. But yeah.
I might just put her because I don't really know where she'd fit in, into the rest of. I guess this is I've never read a comic where there was this Silver Surfer. So.
Shala Ball.
Sorry.
Yeah, same here. So.
I think I might just put her with ROM on my space shelf, like this, away from my Marvel Legends. Like just give ROM a girlfriend.
There you go. Rom's lonely.
Steal her surfboard and stand.
Yeah, and if I like the movie, I might backtrack and pick that up and just say the hell with it. I'm throwing it in my comic display, like I did with Negasonic Teenage Warhead, because she was the best part of the Daredevil movie for me. So, I mean, Deadpool. I did the fucking Dan Who thing.
Shout out to Michael, Bring Toys to Work. Kept thinking you do your live streams on Friday nights. Great to see the three of you together on screen. Yeah, Michael, it's the Friars Day, right? Because I can never decide on whether Thursday or Friday is better. And it just goes, whatever's convenient to the week, I suppose. So we just landed on calling it the Friars Day stream. So it depends on the week.
I mean, putting life ahead of YouTube is a very healthy approach.
That, and sometimes I, go to the movies on Thursdays or don't do anything. So, whatever. Just a thing. Let's see. Oh, Roach picked up Wolverine 1 slapped. Oh, nice. Very nice. And the
is that from the Frank Miller? Is that the one you're talking about?
Roach.
I assume it
Anthony.
is.
The four comic set.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, the version 2 Snake Eyes, the one with the visor, and okay, so it's not that one. The one with the visor and timber was really hard to find around here. And there's no internet, so like the only reason you even know it's a thing is because it's on the backs of the cars and it's in the little catalog that you get with the vehicles. But on a road trip, I found 2 of them, and I just somehow convinced my mother. I was like, I need both of these. I can't even tell you why, but it's impossible to find. And I would say like 8-9 months later, the GI Joe figures were bad about like the crotch just snapping off the midsection piece, and that mine broke. But because it was never widely available around here in Charlotte, a kid at school traded me that 4-issue series for my broken Snake Eyes. And that remains to this day the coolest trade I have ever made in my life.
What a come up. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Michael says next week, assume you're talking about Superman, and that's right, Michael. Very excited about this. I really hope it.
Michael, are you all in for the Mythic Legions? I assume you are, but I just had to ask.
Kenny, I think that movie is going to be good. I think the approach that they're taking with the character is a more optimistic, hopeful approach.
Exactly.
Which is what the character necessitates.
Exactly.
And you do that, like, this is a storyteller who, I liked the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff before the movies, but by the end of that first movie, Jennifer, who had no idea who they were, was crying about a talking raccoon in a dumb tree. And
exactly.
By the end of the second movie, I was feeling something about a throwaway character from the first movie, an antagonist from the first movie, played by an actor in Michael Rooker, who I had never liked in anything prior to that. And then in the second one, like when Yondu died, I was just like, oh no, not Yondu. Like this is someone who knows how to write characters. Yeah. He knows how to make the audience connect with the characters, and I think that Superman is going to benefit greatly from that.
Yeah,
I agree. I have a. What's that?
Did you guys watch Peacemaker?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing a great job with that too.
I had no idea John Cena could actually be a dramatic actor before that show, and that he was amazing in that. Like the emotional scenes that he had in that show were outstanding.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Kenny.
No, I was just saying, like, I agree with that. Like, I'm a fan of James Gunn's style. I think he brings an appreciation to the source material, and does a good job in making fun yet salient, emotional films, and gets you to, have emotions about a talking raccoon in a tree, right? So,
and he knows how to pace a story well, while also getting character development in for everyone in an ensemble cast. That is so difficult to balance.
Yeah.
And he does such a good job with that. And there are some people who are like, oh, there's so many characters in this. I think most of them are going to be just like your normal secondary characters in a movie. I don't think we're going to have a big Hawk Girl origin story in this Superman. I think that it'll be balanced, and I think that it will. Again, this is someone who can make people connect with characters they don't really know, and who's more difficult to make an audience connect to than the most powerful being in the universe? That's not easy to do, and I think he'll find a way to humanize Kal-El in this movie.
Agreed. And he does with ensemble, like everybody's concerned about this ensemble part of it, but he does so well with ensemble.
Yep.
And not even on cinema. Think about like Creature Commandos, right? Like the series.
100%.
Such a great job with the writing and storytelling on that, with, again, an ensemble of characters that you need to apply a good amount of focus to several. telling multiple stories at one, so
yeah.
I have no concerns about him and everything. It's just, I'm just very excited about a Superman movie that I think is more to the heart of Superman as opposed to like Man of Steel and everything like
A
that.
Superman movie that makes you feel like you walked out of a Superman movie instead of something that some edgelord wrote on their live journal 15 years ago, because that's what it felt like walking out of the Zack Snyder movies.
Right. Roach with the $2 super chat. Thank you, Roach. Has anybody seen the Belko Experiment?
I have not.
Also have not. So I'll have to check that out. But says it's a James Gunn movie, so be curious about that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just Googled it.
And then Michael brings up a good point. Wednesday season 2, Peacemaker season 2, and Alien Earth all in August. August is going to be stacked for those series.
Wednesday was what got me hyped for the Beetlejuice sequel, because I don't like I'm okay. I'm not into Beetlejuice like you are, but I have fond memories of that first movie,
Yeah.
And I've never been a big Tim Burton fan overall, but I was like, all right, like the Smallville writers and Tim Burton collaborated on Wednesday, and it was really good, and they're collaborating on this Beetlejuice movie, and then we watched it, and I was just like, no, what happened here? And that song that went on forever at the end,
it bothers me so much.
Ooh. It felt like the Love and Thunder version of a Beetlejuice movie. Like it was just disjointed, and it was so uncomfortable how, like, we all know why the dad couldn't be in the movie, and they kept making it about him.
they really prolonged the explanation there.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird stuff.
That MacArthur Park song going on for like the entire song. I'm like, all right, what do we got? I mean, pacing is terrible here, but
but I'm definitely looking forward to Wednesday season 2. The first season was great.
Yeah, so that's something I need to watch. I started watching the first episode, and then for whatever reason, we just kind of, you know how it is. There's a million things to watch out there. So like you start, and then if you don't think about it, you kind of just forget and move on. And it's something I want to watch, and I just haven't gone back to it.
Yeah, it's really good. The Wednesday, not the Beetlejuice 2.
Yeah. Jamie's just like, wait, I don't want you to think less of me here.
That movie Beetlejuice 2, like I paid for it, like the premium price to watch it at home, because we don't get to go to the theater that easily because my daughter hates theater, and it's just I don't want to get babysitter and all that stuff. So I'll do that every once in a while when it's a movie I really want to watch. So I paid whatever $30 to buy it and watch it at home or whatever. And I was like, I was pretty let down. I don't remember disliking it as much until John started talking about it. I was like, I think I just kind of just like watched
fomented some anger deep. Rush brings up a good point. A million things to watch, but I watch YouTube instead. So it's the case.
My watch list is super long on all my different streaming services. And I'm watching fucking David Displays for 4 hours.
I mostly just watch like the people we all know, and then like Toying Around and Robo and Dan Larson, and D Amazing, of course.
Yeah, I watch Robo and D Amazing. They're both really good. I have trouble watching like the live stuff with Dan or like Justin or whatever, because I want to be involved. And so it's different when I'm watching it, like, afterward, like the replay stuff. I will, but yeah, it's harder. I'll watch like Dan's reviews and stuff, but usually if I miss the live stream of it, like I might watch the after show or whatever, but I don't.
Usually with the Thursdays, like I'm working, so I'm sitting here anyway, and I'll just turn it on. So like it's cool. And then I can like pop in and out of the chat as like, I have an opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For me,
sometimes
it's usually on my ride home. You know?
Sorry.
So, no, you're good. I was just saying, for me, like it starts like on my ride home, so I can just put it on and listen. You know, it's like
yeah. If I'm listening to it live, is different. Even if I can't communicate, like if I'm listening to it, it's fine that I'm listening to it like while it's happening. Like I don't know why it's different like that. It's weird.
Sometimes if I miss something like that, especially Legends and Liquor, like I'm not going to spend 5 hours on the. But what I'll do is, like if I'm working, I'll just play it and mute it while I listen to music, and then he still gets the view time. You know.
There you go.
Yeah, sometimes I'll pop in and like something, even if I don't have time to watch it. Like I'll pop in, I'll just drop a comment real quick, like while it's live. Even if like I'm not able to stay the whole time, try to, show some support.
Lorenzo, you could spend all day.
We're on a YouTube show talking about YouTube shows. That's the definition of meta, right?
Like, yeah, and then hopefully somebody like shows this talking about us talking about YouTube. You know, just keep it going.
I'm sure Justin will clip it and do something with it.
There you go.
If it's justifiable, how about that?
Justin won't do that. Justin's just going to keep playing the same tired ass movie clips that aren't funny that he beats into the ground. That's what Justin's going to do.
Jesus, John.
Damn.
Shit.
There you go.
See how much more effective it is when you do it sparingly, Penny?
I'm going to be honest. I just mostly forget. I have all of these loaded with like a point in mind. And then afterwards, I'm like, shit, I forgot to use that. And yeah, so that's really why it's sparing. Although, like, I specifically uploaded the Shooter McGavin thing today. And thankfully, I remembered to use that one because otherwise I'm not sure what I would have.
That was timely and relevant, though. That was different.
Right.
No, that was very true. That I thought you were serious for a second. Because I don't know, like I missed a lot of the Superman stuff, and I was like, did that guy play Superman for real? I was smart enough not to say anything out loud at the time, and but now I'm not. So there you go.
What's your next pickup, James?
Like toy-wise?
Like, what else have you gotten in? I know you got something else.
Yeah, there's a.
No, I actually was pretty slow. No, I already showed that.
Here we go. Damn it!
I was going to show my Riddler, but I already.
You did show that, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's pretty slow week. It's funny. The 1 week that I'm off of work, I have like no deliveries coming in, nothing. Like so, my wife's like, "You asshole," because she's always at home stuck because there's something coming in the door.
You're like, yeah, I wanted to take the week off from everything. It's a full week off.
Yeah, my Angel X-Force Angel just shipped
from Pulse.
Yeah,
mine did too. It has been a slow week. All I got this week was Classified Footloose, so like it's just been.
Yeah,
but that's cool because like the couple weeks before that was a bunch of stuff like. A bunch of pre-orders came in before I went to Augusta, and then I spent a bunch of money in Augusta. So taking a week off was fine with me with just one figure coming in. That'll work.
Sure. Yeah.
I was mad. I got an update that Black Series, Asa of Interest, and Han Solo, and what else? Something else got like 3 things got bumped a month back in Black Series stuff.
What was it? Was it Ventress or was it? The other night.
No, sorry. Mirren.
Yeah.
Mirren.
What did they get pushed back on? Was it Pulse?
Yeah.
Okay. I got mine pre-ordered from Amazon and I haven't seen anything yet, but I got both of those and the Chewbacca because I was like, they finally did a Han Solo that looks pretty good, so I'll get it. And then I was like, shit, I don't have a Chewbacca on that shelf, like the original trilogy shelf. I have to get. So interestingly enough, I got an email from Pulse saying that my snake armor would ship within a few days, the 2 that I pre-ordered. But if you scroll down to the bottom of the email, then it says it's been delayed. And I was like, well, that's weird.
Conflicting information.
So I went back and I looked at the email for Archangel, and it had the same thing. It actually said that it had been delayed until like May of 2025. And I'm like, okay, that's the past.
Like 8 months with Pulse has just been fucking weird. Like as far as like shipping and like, like order a whole wave. They have it all in stock. And then they ship them one at a time.
Yeah, that's that fulfillment company getting over on Hasbro. Like, and I don't blame them one bit.
It's frustrating. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the entire wave, Han, Chewie, Marin, Night Trooper, and Ezra, September 1st. Okay.
It was August 1st.
See?
Yeah, I did order
because
Ezra too.
It's because I started collecting stuff, right? So I'm waiting for this Han and Chewie, and now it's pushed back. So,
well, you are getting a much better Han Solo from that era of Star Wars than any of the ones that they have released previously. It's Harrison Ford is one of those actors that they just struggle with the likeness. Mark Hamill too. Like some of those Luke Skywalker figures are way more off than Super Shooter McGavin is.
That's a good point. Yeah. Justin, gifting a membership. Okay.
I like it a lot.
That went to Rush, by the way. So there you go.
Oh, nice. What do you get with that membership? I don't even know. What are my benefits?
You get nothing. No, see, that's the
Justin. Oh, just supporting the channel. Sorry.
No, you there's no medical or dental. I know.
The email that I got from Pulse about the snake armor, it says, we're emailing you for one of the 2 reasons below. 1, your item will ship soon. We wanted to give you a heads up that your order is getting ready to ship. And then it shows the 2 snake armors. And then you scroll down and it says 2, a pre-order date has a new shipping date. The new approximate ship date for this is September 1st, 2025. But again, the Archangel email had the same stuff. So it's kind of in limbo. Maybe I'll get it soon. Maybe I'll get it in September.
Ooh, I didn't see The Amazing has a review up of the Psylocke and Thanos.
Nice. Damn it. Where is everybody getting this? Are people actually ordering these from Australia? Because I know they landed in Australia.
$100.
I'm just saying Canada hasn't. I typically rely on Canada, and Canadians haven't got it yet. Rush did say his Transformers were delayed as well from Pulse.
Wait, Kenny, I just heard from the Canadians, and they're very sorry about that. They wanted you to know.
Appreciate that.
Yes.
I'll expect some Tim Hortons with my next delivery.
There you go.
But yeah. So okay, let's see. Thanks for your money. You'll get your toy when we say you get your toy.
Which is fair. I mean, I don't think it was initially expected to ship this soon anyway. So I don't know I don't know what's going on with the snake armor. My attitude toward that is if I pre-order something, I have the money set aside for it. So one way or the other, I don't really care.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. It's just, you want it and they keep pushing it back, but it'll get there, right?
Yep.
Well, gentlemen, anything else before we go around?
No.
All right.
Well, I was just like going through and trying to see like what I feel like there should be something else coming from Hasbro, but I don't remember what it is. But
it's like a ransom, Justin. They're just holding your figure for ransom.
To Lorenzo's point in the chat, it eventually it happens. Sooner or later, you have to.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll Send it around. Tell the people where they can find you if you want to be found. I'll take it to you, John.
Compulsive Collector, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and then Compulsive Dot Collector on YouTube, but I rarely ever upload anything.
All right. James.
All right. At SICNS on Instagram. Happy 4th of July. Tomorrow, everybody be safe. Don't blow off any limbs or digits.
You're not my real dad. You can't tell me what to do.
All right. Just hold on to the firecracker, John. I don't give a shit, really. Anyways, yeah. Thanks for having me on, Kenny. Good to talk to you, John. I miss you, Alexi. Hope you're having fun in Vegas. And that's that.
That's that. Well, you can find me here. Encountered_culture everywhere. Instagram, Blue Sky, X, Facebook, YouTube. I think that hits the majority of them. But yeah, on Saturday night, I'll be over on Justin's channel, Just Justin Collects, Collecting Justified, 8:45-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not yet, Roach. I'm still working on that. I got to get my summer body back, I guess. I don't know. I haven't had it since 2003, but I'm still working on it. It's fine.
Gonna have to pay for that Hot Toys Superman somehow.
Exactly. So stay tuned, I guess. But yeah, this is the recap, right? You've been here all night. Appreciate you dropping in and checking out the stream. Of course, as I said earlier, this is the Friars Day stream, and all that means is, depending on the week, it's either on Thursday or Friday. Sometimes I don't even know until the day, so I don't know what to tell you out there. Just be flexible with your time, I guess. I don't know.
Set the notification bell.
Set the notification bell. It's all there for you on Instagram. I'll post it in the stories and as a post, so I'll let you know. That's how it rolls around here. That's what we call justified, right? Okay. Of course, if you ever want to be on the show on the day of, I'll post it. Just let me know. Send me a DM on Instagram. I'll get you on the show. Just like John and James here. Maybe Alexi shows up. I don't know. I think he'll be back next week as long as his bookie lets him out of Vegas. So stay tuned for that. Of course, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. And without that, without anything else, I will turn it over to my good friends Bill and Ted.
Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes!